Welcome to ADHD Power Tools, where we give you the tools to unlock the power within. Hello, Brooke. So for us ADHDers, we know hyperfocus. Obviously, it's something we battle. Not battle, more like, we have to control, tame the wild beast, hyperfocus on our day-to-day operations. And it's basically, from what I know, obviously, I'm always falling to hyperfocus. It's this state of flow, this positive, beneficial state that we get into where we're really like immersed and engaged into something. But the setback is that we can't go into a different task, jump into a different task. And we spend hours and hours nonstop on something when we know we should be doing something else sometimes, whether it's cooking, social media, video games, any hobby out there, or something you're totally engaged in.
Sure.
What's your opinion on hyperfocus, and can we channel our hyperfocus into something else, into something productive? Can we train it? Is it good? Is it bad?
Sure. So yeah, hyperfocus, it's so funny because people think that ADHD don't have attention, but it's regulating their attention, right? So when you're in hyperfocus mode, all you're doing is attending to this one thing for a very long period of time. So it's not good or bad. It could be good or bad depending on how you use it though. So to clarify, what I'm trying to say is, let's say you as an ADHDer, me as an ADHDer, have a lot of tasks and we don't feel like doing it because they're just like mundane tasks. And we put it off and we put it off and we put it off. Well, if you get into hyper focus mode, you could knock out 9 of those tasks in a very quick amount of time.
Easily.
Right?
100%.
Right. But what I think it's bad for is when you are hyper focused on something and it's taking away from other things that you really need to be doing at that time. So whether it be a distraction like social media or YouTube or anything else, or even if it is a work task, but you have to attend to your kids, or you have to shift your attention to a different work task or a meeting, that's when you really need to figure out how to regulate it. So I do have some ideas. And some of those ideas would be to put alerts up on wherever you are, whether it be on your phone or on the computer or on a timer, to be your outside stimulus to remind you that at a certain time you need to stop what you're doing. The Pomodoro method that we've spoken about, that's really helpful, not only because your optimal focus time is between 10 and 40 minutes, but it's helpful because it does say to you, okay, it's been 25 minutes. So you think in your mind, all right, what have I gotten done in this 25 minutes?
100%. Those little cues that remind you, it's time to get up and do something else. It's time
exactly.
To little zone you're in, 100%.
Exactly. And yeah, for students who are cramming for a test, exactly. They say it's you only remember maximum 50% of what you've learned. So if you're cramming for a test, and your optimal focus time is 10 to 40 minutes, or if you're doing like a really difficult project at work and your optimal focus is for 10 to 40 minutes, after 40 minutes, you're actually depriving yourself of your own time. And we only have 24 hours a day, right? Mm-hmm. So after those 40 minutes, your focus is going down and it's peaking, it's going down and then eventually going back up after some time, but you're wasting time in between and not really utilizing your best focus.
Exactly. And, speaking of the Pomodoro effect, it comes in, it's very, very beneficial, honestly, especially we were talking about as a student and cramming a bunch of work and projects and exams and studying it. I tried my best to kind of get into hyperfocus into studying rather than other things that are stimulating, exciting, and entertaining, such as, YouTube, social media, et cetera, et cetera. And I try to, say I'm studying by myself. Sometimes I try to find a group which I can engage with more often, make it a little more stimulating, share ideas, see one, do one, teach one. I see it, I do, and I teach it to others. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Sure.
And that's how I kind of try to channel my hyperfocus into other productive tasks where sometimes we just don't want to do as students, obviously. But
Absolutely.
absolutely, absolutely.